Hey guys, SpinoDude here, and today we're going to be taking a look at another Safari Limited figure for the #HowISafari campaign. So without further ado, let's have our co-host Marvin bring it out. Thank you, Marvin. So today guys, we are going to be taking a closer look at this. It is the brand new 2017 Safari Limited Tylosaurus. A massive thank you to Safari Limited once again for making this video possible today. I cannot wait to take a closer look at this new marine reptile figure. So without further ado guys, let's dive into the review. Before we take a closer look at the figure, here are a few quick facts about Tylosaurus itself. Tylosaurus prioriger means knob lizard. It was a species of mosasaur that lived in the Cretaceous period of what is now North America. Tylosaurus was a massive marine reptile, capable of reaching lengths of 45 feet long or possibly longer. Many specimens as well as numerous teeth have been found in Canada and the United States, including one with plesiosaur remains in its stomach. Tylosaurus was without doubt an apex predator of the seas, eating other marine reptiles, fish, pterosaurs, and birds, such as Hesperornis. Its powerful tail and serpent-like body would help it glide through the water in pursuit of prey, and its powerful jaws could deliver devastating blows to its victims. To ensure that its prey doesn't escape, Tylosaurus as well as other mosasaurs had an extra palette of teeth in their mouths that would grip their prey as they swallowed them. So without further ado guys, let's start taking a closer look at this ancient marine predator. So here is the 2017 Safari Limited Tylosaurus, a figure that actually seems to be somewhat frowned upon in the dinosaur community for one reason, the color scheme. Now we know that because Tylosaurus was a massive marine predator, it most likely had dark colors on top of its body and lighter colors on its underside to blend in with the dark waters when seen from above and to blend in with the sunlight when seen from below in the water. But many people don't actually know the inspiration behind this color scheme, and it's quite creative and brilliant in my opinion. Now we know of course that Tylosaurus was an ocean-dwelling reptile and is quite serpent-like, and with the newer study showing that mosasaurs most likely had forked tongues, like some of their modern-day relatives, the designer based this figure's color scheme off of some modern-day sea snakes, which again I think is just really creative and quite brilliant. Now some people are still going to be wondering why they didn't go with the accurate color scheme in the first place, and here's my thoughts on that. Safari wanted to release a Tylosaurus and a Kronosaurus figure this year, and with their Kronosaurus having the accurate counter shading with the black and white colors, if they did the same with the Tylosaurus, then most likely they would both look too similar, and that would result in people choosing one or the other instead of getting both figures. To be completely honest, I totally love this color scheme, and the creativity of the figure designer just really impresses me here. With Safari releasing so many gorgeous figures this year, I think there's room for at least one creatively designed figure, and I think they did a great job with this Tylosaurus. Now this Tylosaurus is obviously a replacement for the previously retired Carnegie version, except this one has been updated with a tail fluke, as you can see, which was absent in the Carnegie model. Zooming in on the head here, you can see the lovely striping around the eye, and the eye itself is done in that wonderful metallic gold, which really brings the model to life in my opinion. The teeth are individually sculpted and painted, and I love the gaping jaws here. Inside the jaws, you can see the forked tongue that I mentioned earlier that mosasaurs most likely had like their modern-day relatives, and on the roof of the mouth you can see the second palette of teeth that mosasaurs had as well. I also really like how deep the nostrils are carved out on the front of the snout here. I think that's wonderful attention to detail. Now when I saw the first images of this figure, I actually expected it to be completely smooth, like some of Safari's previous marine reptiles, but to my surprise, there are actually tiny scales carved out in the sculpt if you can see them here. That little extra detail just really impressed me when I first received the model. The flippers are gorgeously detailed with larger scales as well, and the wrinkles in the skin across the entire figure just look so believable. The pose on this Tylosaurus is quite simple in the midsection here, but my favorite parts have to be the head with the gaping jaws and the flowing tail. By just looking at the tail, you can really tell this animal is gliding through the water, and the elegant twisting of the tail is quite serpent-like as well. When I look at this Tylosaurus, to me it's almost begging to be up from the ground, and if I hold it up here and tilt it forward just a little bit, you can see just how much more stunning it looks. It appears as if the animal is in pursuit of some prey underwater. When I set the figure down, however, it just seems like all that is taken away from it when it's just sitting on the ground here. Now I think Safari should include clear removable display bases for their marine life figures. It would just bring them to life on your shelf or wherever you display them, in my opinion. And they've actually already done it with their sunfish figure. I'll put an image up in editing. I'm sure it's quite easy to even create your own display stands, but without them, this figure is still beautifully done. Alright, so for my overall thoughts on this figure, I think it's fantastic. I love the updated sculpt with the tail fluke. The detail is great. I love the tiny scales across the sculpt, which is a very nice touch that I wasn't expecting myself. In terms of scientific accuracy, the only thing that is off is the color scheme, but I think the inspiration behind the color scheme is very creative, and I personally love it. Overall, I think this is a fantastic figure of Tylosaurus. It's very well done and I recommend picking it up. Great job, Safari Ltd. So you're probably wondering just how big this figure is, so Marvin, bring out the ruler. Thank you, Marvin. Alright, we've got our trusty flexi ruler now, so let's give this Tylosaurus a measure. So in terms of the length from the tip of the snout to the tip of the tail, we are looking at about 9.5 inches, and in terms of the height at the highest point, which is the top of the tail fluke here, we are looking at about 1 3/4 inches. For comparison, here is the 2017 Safari Ltd Tylosaurus next to the Safari Ltd Plesiosuchus. If you want to see the review for this figure, link will be down below in the description. The base colors on both these figures are actually somewhat similar, and I love the way they look next to each other. So make sure you guys go check out Safari's Plesiosuchus. It's an awesome marine reptile figure. Up next for comparison, here is the 2017 Safari Ltd Tylosaurus next to the Safari Ltd Elasmosaurus. If you want to see the review for this figure, link will be down below in the description. If I remember correctly, Tylosaurus and Elasmosaurus actually lived alongside each other, so it would be appropriate to display these together. I think these two figures look great next to each other, although they are slightly out of scale. Make sure you guys go check out the Safari Ltd Elasmosaurus. It's a very nicely done plesiosaur figure. And finally, for comparison, here is the 2017 Safari Ltd Tylosaurus next to the massive 2017 Safari Ltd Giganotosaurus. We just recently reviewed this amazing figure on the channel, so if you want to see the review, link will be down below in the description. Both of these new 2017 releases from Safari are done beautifully, so make sure you guys go check out the new Giganotosaurus. It is a truly stunning piece. Well, there we go, guys. That was today's look at the brand new 2017 Safari Ltd Tylosaurus. Although some people dislike the color scheme on this figure, I think the inspiration for it is very creative and just brilliant. In my opinion, this figure is truly a beautiful representation of Tylosaurus, and I definitely recommend adding it to your collection. So if you want to get this figure for yourself, make sure to go to www.safarilimited.com. Also be sure to check out their other awesome products while you're there. And if you guys want to learn more about the #HowISafari campaign, go check out Safari's Facebook page and other social media. So anyway guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel. Also leave a comment telling me what you think of this new model. So thank you so much guys for watching, and as always I will see you in my next video. Take care and bye bye.